Hey, I'm Mike.
Hey, I'm Ethan.
I watched the first half of The Meg.
I watched the second half of The Meg.
And this is the other half. Summer Screamin'!
Boy, there's a big fucking shark out there. There's a big fucker.
There's only one guy who can resolve it.
The guy who's bald. Because I swim real fast in the water.
That's right.
Aerodynamic as fuck.
I got no hair.
You think there's a big shark? There's always a bigger shark, baby.
And
There's
I'm
always
the
a more
biggest shark.
There's always a more bald shark, baby.
Yeah.
You know, Hobbs and Shaw didn't work out. But let me tell you, The Meg is kicking ass.
That's
let me tell you,
right.
audiences love it. They fucking love
In
it.
America, in China, they love The
Love
Meg.
it. It's the two places we shoot this movie in.
Yeah.
And therefore, they fucking love it.
That's right. They
It's the
love
best.
it.
They love The Meg.
Nobody likes Hobbs and Shaw.
Nobody likes Hobbs and Shaw. Though.
I can't remember which one I am.
I don't. Am I Shaw? Oh shit! I am Shaw. I had to think about that.
Man, yeah. Well, audiences love this movie.
Audiences love The Meg.
I am not one of those audience members.
No!
Hated this movie.
You hated it.
Hated it.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I think you might have got the better half of the movie.
I think for me, this feels what I was while watching this. You know, ironically enough, before I record this, we are going to go watch
the new Twisters.
The new
movie.
Twisters
I was
movie.
figuring you were going to.
This kind of felt like Twisters,
Yeah.
or like the twist. Well, I've never seen Twister. I've never seen Twisters, but it feels
At the
like
very moment you have it.
that this moment.
Yeah.
By the time this releases, I will be a changed man. But it feels like old throwback kind of
Yeah.
blockbuster movie where it's like we got a big thing, man versus nature. That's
Yeah.
it, baby.
We all got to get together and
Yeah.
resolve this
the
bigger
villains
problem.
are like there, but they're not really like villains. They're just kind of like greedy people who get a little too attached to something. And,
Right.
You know, and
the millionaire.
exactly. And so it kind of this movie depends on how likable the characters are,
Yeah.
and they're okay.
I don't like Jason Statham. I think I've said
Yeah,
it before.
I think Jason Statham is probably honestly the weakest of all the cast. Weirdly enough, like
yeah.
he's just such a I don't know. He's just so. He's like beef jerky in a nice, beautiful steak. You know,
I think
you're
I've
like he's a little tough to chew on.
I think I've said it before on this podcast. His acting method to me reminds me way too much of like Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. Like he's a British guy who talks like this, and he's got to be the coolest guy in the room and say all the right things at all the right times.
That's not wrong.
And it's just like I cannot fucking stand that shit. And like the fact that we're still making movies where that character exists, I
mean, it's just Jason Statham.
I guess so.
That's
I don't
him.
know. I don't know what he's like
when
in
you
real
hire
life.
him, you get him. You know.
I guess so.
Like that's how he's gonna be. He's gonna be that way in Fast and Furious. He's gonna be that way in Crank.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
I never
And you
seen
know
the
what?
Crank movies. I don't know.
You never seen the Crank movies?
No, I haven't. I should probably watch them.
They're pretty fun.
I think those are like fun directorially. I think that's the thing I also didn't like in this movie. It's just like the way it was shot was just very like bland.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, I don't know. There's some pretty good moments near my
Not
half,
my half
but
of the
I
movie,
can
yeah.
imagine. That's the thing is, this is one of those movies where I know you wouldn't like it because I watched my half and I'm like, I got a pretty enjoyable little movie out of that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what happened in the beginning. Don't need to. Don't even know. I kind of got all
It's
of
a
it.
lot
in the
of
second half.
setup. It's a
So
lot
I
of
feel like
setup.
that's a big flaw in a movie when, and you could be bored when someone watches the second half and be like, I get all of it and I had a good time.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't need it, and you have no desire to be like, I wonder what happened in the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of spoon feeding the audience who the characters are, because like there are a lot of characters to keep
There are a
track
lot of characters. You gotta make the audience like them, so
A lot
when
of
they die,
drama, inter-character drama, right? You have to go like, well, this is the guy who runs the facility. This is the guy who pays for the facility. This is the person who built everything.
you gotta set the stakes. Sure.
You got to set the stakes up. Why is Jason Statham doing this? Because he seems like a dude who wouldn't ordinarily
wanna
put
do any
himself
of
in
this.
danger, but someone who he cares about was possibly in danger. And there's all this shit you got to fucking set up. And all of it.
But like the thing is like the Meg is all about like I want to see the big shark. Right?
Yeah.
This movie's also 2 hours long, which is I think a little long.
Yeah, it's a little long
for what it
this.
is.
Yeah.
I just don't know what happens in your half because like the Meg is in my half and they do all the Meg stuff in my
I
half.
think-
Like what do they set up? What
I
are they
think-
setting up? Just like literally being like, here's Rainn Wilson, what he does.
Yeah, he's the millionaire.
He's the rich guy.
I think that's one of the bigger like missteps of this movie as well. Is like we set this up as like a summer screaming thing. So I was like, all of the fucking like marketing for this movie is like people in inner tubes, people like on surfing, people on the beach, and then a giant fuck off. What are they called?
Megalodon.
Megalodon in the water. So it's like that's what I was expecting. Is like, oh shit, like we just wanted to like Jaws. All I expected was like a Jaws movie. The first half of this movie takes place in like an underwater sea lab.
Yeah.
Like a technological marvel. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like none of this is fun.
Mike, it's gotta happen at some point. You gotta wait for it. This is like modern. I feel like what kind of plagues a lot of like modern.
Just wasn't fun. That's all it was.
Well,
it just
modern
wasn't
monster
fun.
movies, like even like the Godzilla movies, have this kind of issue where it's like, we have to chew our vegetables and have the characters talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
And then like, and it's just like, I just want to see the fucking.
Hey, man, that's totally
shark
fair. Shin Godzilla takes place mostly in like boardrooms. That movie fucking rocks.
Yeah, that's
You know?
true. You're right. You're absolutely right.
There's a way to do this that works.
Yeah, all right.
This is
Fair
not
enough.
the way to do this, you know? And I'm just sitting here watching fucking Jason Statham say fucking like movie, like action movie cliches to like, you know, I'm just like, I'm not interested in any of this bullshit. So like, I could not give less of a shit.
Should have got my half, man.
I think I got the wrong end of the stick.
There was the craziest beach scene I've seen ever in my life. It was
that's what I wanted to
crazy.
see. Oh, I'm so fucking pissed. Well, let me tell you how the movie opens. Shall I tell you how the movie opens?
Tell me how the movie opens because it sounds like you don't want to talk about this movie.
I don't. The
Sounds
movie
like you
opens
were
with
very
production
upset with it.
logos underwater. And I was
Okay.
like, that's a cool creative choice.
That's fun.
I'm
Yeah.
in.
All right. So we got Mike. He's got hook, line, sinker. He took the bait.
I took the bait.
He took the bait. You're like, oh, creative logos. Sign me
I
up.
bite down on the hook, and then they pull me up and they fucking kill me.
Oh my God, they got you.
So we
Take your
are
heart out.
introduced to a deep sea rescue team. Led by Jason Statham.
Are they going after those people who tried to look at the Titanic? Like, what
No,
are they rescuing?
They're rescuing some kind of like submarine that like went underwater, and
So the people who tried looking at the Titanic?
I guess so. I don't know. That's a fair point. They went to like help these people in a submarine. And they it's like a big submarine. It's not like the tiny ones like that.
No,
And
I know, but it's fun. It's a funny idea.
It
that
is
like
a pretty similar
like,
idea.
Yeah, we're the tow truck company for underwater. Like you dumb fucks.
And so they go underwater, and Jason Statham's there with his team, and they go to save these people. But then all of a sudden, while they're in the submarine, the hull of the sub starts to like get crushed by some giant monster outside of the submarine.
Okay.
And Jason Statham's like, this isn't gonna hold, and so he swims out of the submarine with the crew. But some of the
How
other
deep are they?
deep. This is the deepest that anyone's ever been rescued.
Okay, so
Accord-
Jason Statham's like, my
I'm
body
the
can handle
best.
it.
Yes, exactly. He's the only one that can do this.
He's so bald, nothing can like bother
Exactly.
him. Yeah.
The hairiest thing on his head is his chin.
It's barely got hair on it.
Yeah, exactly.
This motherfucker loves Nair.
Yeah, he really does. So he's like, "We go get out of here," but he ends up leaving two of his crew members to die in the submarine as it crushes under what most people think is the weight of the pressure of being underneath the sea. But Statham is the only person who saw the hull getting crushed by some giant monster outside, and so he's the only one that is aware there must be some kind of giant beast out in the water that is plaguing the water and is most likely the Megalodon. But one guy who's in there who is the he's the dude later that we see who's like the medic on the ship.
Sure.
Hunter?
Oh, yeah, the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor. Whatever the fuck his name is.
Starts
with an H.
Dr. Heller?
Heller. He also knows Statham, and he's just like, you're a fucking coward, Mr. Statham. You left those people to die because you didn't want to die yourself. And Statham's like, no, you got it all
play
wrong.
later.
Exactly. So we cut to 5 years later, and we're introduced to Morris, who is played by...
How many times do you think we've said that comes into play later?
That's how
It's probably
most
every
movies
episode,
go.
right?
Yeah.
It's probably every episode, right?
That's what foreshadowing is.
Yeah.
So I want to say most episodes,
Most
but
movies.
probably not all of them.
Yeah.
So we're introduced...
Unfortunately, probably not all
Yeah,
of them.
exactly. We're introduced to Morris. Well, I think most of the time we actually go like, does that come into play later? And then the other person goes, nope.
Nope, never mentioned again.
That's mostly what
There's
probably
also,
happens.
Jason Statham's name.
Yeah.
You know his real character's name?
I forget it. What is it? It's something stupid, right?
Jonas Taylor.
Taylor.
Like
Jonas
the
Taylor.
most basic ass name.
Jonah.
Oh my god.
Jonah in the fucking whale. Ethan, I've never seen Ethan do such a large eye roll in my life. That's what it's totally referencing.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't even think about that,
Yeah.
but you're right. I just thought it was a cool reference to Jonas Brothers. But, you know, you're absolutely right.
That's right. No, I think that's what it is. So, cut to 5 years later, Morris, who's played by Rand Wilson, and we see him wearing Nikes. Hard, deep shot of his Nike shoes. And at this point, I'm like, oh, Nike's absolutely fucking paid money for this.
China.
Okay, so I didn't want to mention this, but China absolutely put money into this fucking movie.
China put money in this movie. But you know what? I'm for it.
No, it's fine.
Because here's the thing for me.
I think 2 of the actors are like famous like Chinese like actors. The lady.
I'm for it.
I'm all for
here's
it.
Here's the reason why. I'm fucking tired of seeing America be terrorized. All right.
Agreed. I want to see Chinese
people terrorized. All right. Honestly, though, like it's a nice change of pace. I'm like, oh my god, these people are so scared. There's so many.
This does remind me of shit like. More like The Abyss, you know, like those sorts of. I don't know if you've seen The Abyss.
I don't think I've seen The Abyss.
Okay, well, that's a good example of like one of those movies where it's like a group of people who need to work against a larger like issue, you know, like a bigger problem. Where it feels more like multicultural. You know?
That's what I kind of like.
I think about this movie. That's one of the few things I liked about this movie, where it's like this is a multicultural problem. This is affecting different kinds of people.
Yeah, I like seeing it where like because a lot of like even like Japanese Godzilla movies like the Americans they fucking don't help or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
I got Shin Godzilla also though. They did have some Americans coming and help, which was actually kind of a cool thing. But
I love Shin Godzilla.
But like the combination of that is fun. Like it's cool to have that sort of.
It feels
like,
more like an Independence Day where it's like we're all in this together.
Like I love a disaster movie where humans put aside like whatever fucking
geopolitical
stuff, even though it's not like. I mean, I guess China and America kind of hates each other, but not a lot, not like a super amount.
Yeah,
but like you know, they still put aside their differences and be like, we need to figure out like
we're all human beings.
Yeah, we need to stop these big giant sharks from
eating
these submarines.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, and one of the production like logos is absolutely like a Chinese like company corporation.
Look this up.
I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's there. And then yeah, when I noticed, it's like I think like 3 of the like cast in the movies like pretty famous like Chinese actors. She's like, oh, I know what this movie is doing. But honestly, they're way better than fucking Rainn Wilson is, who's playing Morris, a billionaire.
Rainn Wilson is certainly playing a character.
Is he playing a character, or is he just doing Rainn Wilson?
Has Rainn Wilson been in anything good since The Office, or has he just been himself? Like, I can't think of a role. He's been in stuff.
But
I'm trying to think of a role where I'm like, damn, he really is bringing it. Like, I really want to see more of this shit. I
can't think of anything. I know they want to do like a Dwight Schrute spinoff.
Smurfs: The Lost Village, of course. I'm sorry.
Who was he in that movie?
I don't know. Oh, remember Super?
Yeah. Oh, he was great in Super.
Okay, I never saw Super.
I like Super. Well, okay, I liked Super when it came out. It might have not aged very well, but I enjoyed it when it came out.
2010.
Well, you know who directed that movie?
I do not.
That would be James Gunn.
Oh, it's a James Gunn joint. Sure.
I remember when James Gunn directed Guardians of the Galaxy, and I had seen Super, like, I want to say, like, 3-4 years before Guardians came out, and I'm like, what a choice. Because there's a sexual assault scene in Super. Like, that movie is a hard R film.
It's a rough one. Did you know Rainn Johnson was in Galaxy Quest?
No, but Rainn Wilson was.
Fuck off.
He plays one of the aliens. I knew that.
Wow. I didn't know
that. Yeah, he plays one of the aliens.
I guess he was. I mean, he was in that Weird Al movie, but he was just himself.
Oh, basically. Yeah. Well, he was not himself in the Weird Al movie.
He was Dr. Demento.
He was in. Oh God, he was in that.
I guess he was pretty good in that.
He was great in that movie. Everyone was great in that movie.
Yeah,
I like that Weird Al movie. Either way, he arrives on the Mana 1, which is a C lab that he is funding.
Okay.
I gotta say, I didn't like the setting. I didn't like the direction of this movie. I am a fucking sucker for a C lab, though.
Really? You love a C lab?
I love the cartoon C lab, the Adult Swim cartoon C lab.
I was gonna make a joke about that, but I was like, I don't think I know enough about it. I never saw that cartoon.
I loved it. I loved it so much. It was so fucking stupid. That is such a good. Go back and watch C lab. I remember. I think it was during the pandemic. First couple weeks of the pandemic, I was like really.
That feels like a C lab vibe.
I was like, I need to see C lab, and that got me through a couple weeks.
Only got me through a couple weeks.
Because there's not many episodes.
Yeah,
and they're all short. And it's so obvious. That just is such a good example of just like a bunch of stoners who had access to like Adobe Flash. And they're just like, let's make a fucking cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
That shit rocks. Either way, I'm a sucker for a C lab. So he's funding a C lab. And we meet a bunch of people whose names I will not remember. I just wrote down.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want you to tell me the characters as best you can. Tell me the character names.
Okay, we got Morris, who's the millionaire.
Yep, that's his last name, but yeah.
I've got Lori, who is the ex-wife of Jason Statham, whose name I don't remember.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We've got the Wall,
Yeah, he has the name of the wall. It's just a
That's
guy
why I
called the
remember
Wall.
it.
Yeah, it's a very distinctive name.
I know that Toshi, but he dies in my half the movie.
Yeah, Toshi is the guy from
Heroes.
Yeah.
There's Jax, who...
What a character. Why is she named Jax? Jax is like, they're like, you know what's cool? Hackers. We're going to have a hacker character.
She's a hacker, but she also designed
is
everything.
her hair, okay, is her hair long?
Short, but it's long.
It's always wet.
It's always wet.
Why is it wet?
It's styled that way, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Who does that in 2018? When this movie came out.
Yeah, when did it come out?
2018, yeah.
Heller Mac is the captain.
Captain?
Captain Mac.
Yeah, Captain Mac.
I think he's the captain. I don't know if he's the captain, but he seems to like run things.
All right.
And oh god, I know there's one other guy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name?
It's a pretty obvious name.
DJ.
Yeah. DJ.
That came right out of fucking nowhere.
He's from Street Fighter, dude.
Is he?
No. There's a character named DJ who was in Street Fighter.
All right.
I kept being like, yep, that's how I remember
it. There's DJ, and I don't know what he does.
He's our one black character.
He's
that's
the one black guy.
Let's be honest.
Oh, and I've actually forgotten about the Chinese guys.
Yes.
There's
Su
Yin,
who's like basically the main.
She's the main lady scientist. She has a daughter whose name I never wrote down.
Her name is Mei Yin.
I loved the daughter, by the way.
The daughter, honestly,
best character of the movie. I can't
believe how good of a child actor they got. Insane. She was so good.
She speaks English and Chinese perfectly.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I was like, this movie does not deserve this caliber of acting. And then Su Yin's dad, whom I don't know, and he's also the guy that runs...
Minwei Zhang.
Yeah, there you go.
I hope I'm saying that right, but Dr. Minwei Zhang.
Yeah, yes, and that's all I know.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
You honestly got pretty much all of them, so I don't know why you're like, I don't know fucking hate these people. I feel like you want to hate this movie more than you retain.
If you look at the very first line I wrote down, I said, God, I hate this movie. I wish I wasn't watching it. It's so bad. I was already having a bad time. So they dive deep and they explore the underwater they want to see the real ocean floor because they think they know what the ocean floor is, but actually...
All right, you pussies. You seen this fucking ocean floor? That's not the real ocean floor. We got to go deeper and see the real ocean floor, motherfuckers.
How stupid of a premise.
That's like someone being like, you flew in a plane? I'm in the fucking space, though, bitch.
That's true. That's
like, what is this?
You've never thought about flying or diving this deep.
Your mind can't process this, baby.
And what's so crazy is like Rainn Wilson is just like, I paid so much money for you to explore this. Why? Why did you drop this kind of money? For what? For what reason?
Look, honestly though, Mike, the bottom of the ocean is pretty fucking crazy. All right, like
what money are you gonna make from that?
There might be there's fucking buried treasure all over the water that no one knows about. I know it sounds cheesy,
Ethan,
but like
there is no goddamn way that anyone is putting up $2 billion to make a sea lab off the chance they're gonna find buried
We're gonna find Spanish gold, my friend. I found a fucking statistic.
Aztec gold. It's cursed. They're gonna spend $2 billion on cursed treasure.
Dude, I didn't know this. Fucking Spanish ships, only like 80% of them fucking sank, dude. 80% of them fucking sank. They lost all that gold, dude.
That's
There's so
crazy.
much gold. There's a lot of gold in the bottom of the ocean.
You're implying that there is Spanish gold on 80% of like 100% of the ships. I don't think there was gold on all of the ships.
No, you're right. But there's still a lot. Fucking 80%. What the fuck are those guys doing?
Fucking Spaniers. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Yeah.
Having too much fucking tapas.
Yeah.
In their life, you know. Paella.
Too busy trying to conquer America.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. They're like, oh, fucking South America.
Bunch of fucking conquistadors. Yeah. You think that they...
So he's like, oh, it's been $2 billion. Yeah. We're gonna find Spanish gold.
We're gonna find so much gold under the ocean.
Hey, man. Alex Jones told me that gold is just the best investment.
This does feel like some kind of bullshit that fucking Elon would put money up for, right? Though, like he's like,
oh yeah, this is the next.
This is the meme. He's gonna go to the bottom of the ocean, then draw a dick butt or some bullshit.
Yeah, he'll be like Raffle.
Yeah.
He'll drive a Tesla down there for some reason.
All of this seems way too cool. What is the actual thing that Elon would do if he had access to the bottom of the ocean?
I think he would probably make an underwater Tesla and it wouldn't do much, and it would probably just go like it would just submerge a little bit, and that's it. But he would say it would go all the way down to the bottom, and you could explore that second ocean that these guys are so enthused with. The second bottom, the real ocean floor.
He would send other people; they would die, and then they would drop the stupid ass meme that he wanted, and then he would never mention the fact that they died.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then he would just have photos of the meme.
Yeah.
Either way, they're gonna dive deep, explore the underwater, and go to the real ocean floor. But when they go down there, they see something huge and fast approaching. And by the way,
stop talking about me like that, Mike.
Sorry. Normal size.
Hey, I appreciate the accuracy. Average size thing. Going at a reasonable speed. At a respectable speed. At a respectable pace, too. Exactly. One that you can get used to.
Yeah, exactly.
I won't tire out too quickly.
I forgot to say, they're exploring it in an underwater rover that is being manned by the Wall, Toshi, and Lori. Lori's the one that's like piloting the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they are attacked and they lose connection to the main sea lab. And there's only one person on the entire Earth who could possibly dive that deep and save them.
It's got to be our boy Jones Taylor.
Now, I've been so excited this whole time, Ethan. Now, a little bit about how the sausage is made. We record 2 episodes a night, right? Now, was there a movie, or the movie last time we talked about had a song in it?
Oh, yeah. I know exactly
what song was that?
Hey, Mickey, you're so fine, if you're divine, I don't know the rest.
That song Mickey. Is in this fucking movie.
Yes, it is. It happened at the credits for me, and I was like,
what
a coincidence.
Is going on?
I don't know. It's the summer, baby. So we got to worry. I hope that our summer screaming continues with this song. I don't think it will.
I don't think it will.
This next movie, I don't know if it came out. I don't know if the movie was. I don't think the song was around.
But isn't it crazy that 2 movies in a row have the Mickey song in it?
That is very crazy.
Nuts. When you said that, I put a little timer on my phone because I was like, I gotta remember to bring this up because I didn't fucking put that in the notes.
And for some reason, it's the credit song too. I don't know why.
It's a great song.
It's a good song.
It's a good song. It's a cool like cover of it.
You know she was 40 when she did that song? That's crazy.
No, I didn't know that.
That was like her first big hit.
At 40?
Yeah.
We still have time. So they go to Jason Statham, who's a drunk. He's drunk off his ass, living in Thailand. And
that sounds like a fucking great life.
Okay, I'm so glad you said this because they were like, he's just a fucking drunk, like, slopping it over. And then they cut to him like, that seems pretty fucking sweet.
He's out in Thailand, dude? That just sounds
nice. Chilling, drinking beer all day. He's like friends with the bartender, but he's not a creep. I'm like, this seems pretty great, honestly. And then the funniest shit too is then later on, like he goes back to the sea lab and they check his like vitals and they're like, you're fucking fit as a whistle. And I'm like, no, if you're fucking day drinking in Thailand, you're not fucking in good health.
You've been marinating in 10% alcohol like most of your life.
No way.
Like,
you have a fucking beer belly.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? But no,
he walks everywhere, I bet.
I guess so. Yeah, it's very walkable in Thailand.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but I was like, honestly, cut to him like, that's pretty sweet. Just like chilling on a fucking like dock, like drinking beer in the middle of the day. Not bad. Anyway, I'm glad you mentioned it. So they go and talk to him. By they, I mean the captain, who is Mac. And I think the other guy, the Chinese guy that runs everything.
Min Wei Zhang?
Yeah, that's right. They go and talk to Jason Statham. And Statham is like, here's what's going to happen. You're going to try to appeal to my human interests, and I'm going to say no. And then you're going to give me money, and I'm going to say no. And then you're going to plead, and you're going to beg, and I'm going to say no. So how about we all just drink a beer and just sit down, and then we enjoy ourselves, and then you leave me here in Thailand to day drink. And then they're like, hey, Lori is under the ocean floor. And they're like, and he's like, I'm in. So I guess not. So the crew in the rover is still alive. Lori and the Wall and Toshi are all still alive.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, here we go. Listen. It's okay. Ethan wasn't listening to me. It's totally fine.
I was listening to you, but I found something fucking crazy.
What?
Did we watch Resident Evil Retribution? I don't think we did.
I think we tapped out.
The main actor in this, she is also there playing fucking Ada Wong.
We definitely didn't see that.
We did not
movie,
see that movie
right?
because I don't remember Ada Wong in it at all. I would remember Ada Wong.
I hate this. I hate this because now that makes me want.
I know. I had a fucking urge in my body to be like, I want to go back. I want to know. I want to see her in the. We can't. It's gonna be terrible.
It's gonna be
not
awful.
gonna be as good as you
She's
think
gonna
it's
show
gonna
up
be.
for like 5 minutes and then disappear.
Oh my god! Guess how old she is.
Oh, I don't know. Like. No, that can mean so many things. I want to say, okay, if I see her in the movie, I look at her and I think she's probably in her like, I want to say her like late 20s.
Dude. And while she was filming this, she was 48 years old.
Fuck off!
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, dude.
What? Wait,
Bing,
what?
bing.
How old?
She's 51 now.
What?
I know.
That's shitty. That's fucking crazy. She's 51 years old. Okay, so in my half of the movie, they try to set up a romance between her and Jason Statham, and I'm like, get the fuck away from her, old man. Now I'm like, no.
Wait, they're actually age appropriate.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, holy shit.
I did not expect that.
That's
1973 is when she was born.
That's crazy.
Oh my
wow.
God.
She's taking very good care of herself.
Yeah, seriously. I need her skincare routine right now.
Genuinely. Holy
shit, dude.
That is shot. I'm glad you mentioned this. That's amazing. Anyway,
continue with your story that I was totally listening to.
That's totally fine.
I was listening.
They go. The crew and the rover are still alive. They get their power back on, but they need to keep the lights off because if they turn the lights on, they will be attacked by the Megladon. And we also see Toshi. He's writing a little letter to his wife, which is very ominous. Soo-yeon takes some Star Wars underwater ship to get them back.
Yeah, okay. So they have like, it does look like oh my God, you're right. It does look like the Gungan ship. Because I was looking at those and I'm like, those look fucking sick. But also I'm like, those definitely don't exist, right?
No, those are like
There's
Gungan
no
ships. It's like a mix of like a Gungan ship and like the fighter that Anakin uses in the first movie too.
Oh,
like,
the Naboo Starfighter.
Yeah, the Naboo Starfighter.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all Naboo. It's all Naboo to me, you know? So she takes that to go down to try to save the people in the rover. And her dad is like, don't do that, dude. Like, that's not cool. You have a daughter back at home. You know, you're going to die. Wrote down that basically Jason Statham shows up and Heller's like, hey, you left those people down there to die. Mm-hmm. And Jason Statham's like, you don't know the half of it, blah, blah, blah. So
okay, sure.
After chatting to Soo-yeon's daughter, who is cool, Jason Statham takes another ship down to try to save the rover. While Soo-yeon is down there, she is attacked by a giant squid that crushes.
Whoa.
Yeah, a giant squid that crushes her ship.
Yeah, my attention. No.
Yeah, that's right.
I fucking love giant squids, bro. I was a big squid head. I was all about like inking all over the place.
You would have fucking loved this shit.
I think
you would have inked the second you saw this
oh my
thing.
God, I would have inked so hard.
Yeah.
The thing is like, giant squids are fucking scary, bro.
It's true, and this thing was scary. It
like,
crushed her ship.
You never see them, but
Yeah.
they exist.
They
They're so
exist.
deep under the water, and then they just wash up randomly on the shore. That's like the closest we have to like a cryptid.
It's true because it's so close to a cryptid, but it's not a cryptid because we know they're real.
They're real.
We know they're real.
And
it's
that's
just the fact that they're
scary.
so deep down there.
They're so deep, and they never really do anything.
Exactly.
They hang out at the bottom.
But they wouldn't. But then when they die and rise up to shore, you're like, Jesus Christ! What
Holy
the fuck?
shit! This is in the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. So this thing crushes Soo-yeon's ship. And so she's in danger, but then Jason Statham shows up and saves her by shooting a bunch of flares. Oh. And no, Jason Statham doesn't save her. The Megalodon shows up and eats the squid.
Yeah.
And then the Megalodon is about to attack Soo-yeon, but then Jason Statham shows up. And just for those nerds out there, yes, the Megalodon fighting the squid looks a lot like the cover for the They Might Be Giants album, Apollo 18. Just wanted to mention that.
Everyone was asking that.
Everyone wanted to know, and it's
exactly,
true.
100%.
Yeah. So, blah, blah, blah. Her Soo-yeon's vessel is damaged, so she cannot help the crew in the rover, so she has to surface. The only person that can help now is Jason Statham. So he goes down, and he connects the two ships. He saves Lori, his ex-wife, and the wall. But the Meg starts to approach, and Toshi's like, I gotta sacrifice myself. So he slips a note into the wall's back pocket, closes the hatch, disconnects the two ships, and then the Meg comes and just smashes into it, killing Toshi. But Toshi sacrificed himself, and Lori is now in critical condition due to internal bleeding. And Soo-yeon sees all this, and Soo-yeon had been told about Jason Statham leaving two of his crew to die before. So Soo-yeon immediately is like, bro, this is fucking par for the course for you, man. Like, you you absolutely fucking did this. You're a coward, and you left Toshi to die down there. And obviously, this rubs Jason Statham the wrong way.
Yeah.
Then later on, I want to say like maybe 5-10 minutes later, Soo-yin realizes the error of her ways, so she goes to apologize to Jason Statham. But when you know what, Jason Statham was taking a shower, and he walks out of the shower, and he's half naked, and Soo-yin's just like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it! You're half naked."
You're half naked. And he's like, "Oh, you never seen more bald balls." Do you think he's definitely got no hair down there, right?
I think he's like a satyr. I think he's like a pan down there. I think it's like the top half is completely bald and the bottom half
really
hairy as shit. That's what I think. But we'll never know because I don't think he'll ever do a scene where we see his balls.
Damn.
And
He's British though. You'd think he'd be down with that, but I guess
he's
not.
British, so he's probably uncircumcised.
Oh, nice.
I know.
Nice.
That's what we're all thinking about when we see Jake. He kind of looks like an uncircumcised dick.
Absolutely.
Either way. Ethan's not listening to me at all.
Absolutely,
totally.
I'm thinking about his dick.
Yeah, Ethan's just thinking about Statham dick.
Now I'm Googling it.
Yeah, he wants to get crank.
I'm going to crank it tonight.
He wants to snatch that.
I'm going to transport that image back home.
He wants to Hobbs that Shaw. Trying to think of literally any other movie Jason Statham shows up in. Anyway, so it's a whole scene between the two of them. I hated it because I'm like, don't fucking force this on me. I don't want the two of them to wind up together. We also learned that Soo-yin's husband is no longer in the picture. She's a single mom raising her daughter. Blah, blah, blah. What happens next? Okay. Even though Toshi is dead, Morris, the millionaire, wants them to continue their dangerous mission. He's just like, we've got millions. We've discovered millions down here. I'm like, you've discovered a giant man-eating shark. Like, that's not gonna. What do you mean millions? Like, what are you gonna put that in a fucking museum? Like, I don't know how you're gonna make money off of it.
Yeah,
$1 million. $1
million. You could. If
you have spent $2 billion on the C Lab.
Mike's doing the simple math, and it's just like, you spent $2 billion, you only get $1 million. That's not worth it.
It's not. What are you doing? Like, I don't know. It's just like I would look at this and go like, we need to continue our research into giant man-eating sharks. I'm like, what are you gonna make off of that? They never even address it.
It's like a Jurassic Park world type thing. Like, what are you gonna
genuinely
do?
But even in that case, it was like he thought of it as like in Jurassic Park, he thought of it as like an attraction, you know.
Yeah.
Here it's like, what are you gonna do? It's just like, oh yeah, here's this giant fuck off shark.
You capture it or whatever, right?
How? This thing's massive.
Right. Good point.
You have to spend more money to capture it.
Mike being the astute businessman, while Rainn Wilson over here is just like, I don't know, spend more money.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, it was just like, but it's also like everyone's like, we have to fucking put an end to this. Toshi's dead. And Morris is like, we got to keep doing this. I'm like, what are you talking about? So he thinks there's some bigger payday anticipated. I don't know how. So while they argue, the Meg attacks the C Lab, plunging its teeth into glass.
I'm not done.
Yeah, he's like, I'm fucking coming for your ass. Plunges its teeth into the glass right next to Soo-yin's daughter. And I'm like, you can eat anyone you want in this movie.
And you want to eat Soo-yin's daughter?
I'm like, you fucking
go for
stay away from Soo-yin's daughter.
Also, like,
she must be protected at all costs. Also, yeah, like,
so
what if
tiny.
she's like a snack?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
I'm going for them big pieces, you know? I'm not going to try to get the crumbs.
No. But then it eats a whale right afterwards. So
that's pretty big.
Yeah, I realized it's like, what was I doing?
Whales are pretty big.
So there are some reports of the Megladon downing shark poaching ships, which is pretty funny.
It's like those orcas
attack
those ships.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
that's right. So they go and they're like, okay, we gotta try to non-violently put this shark down. I don't know why the fuck they're gonna do that, but they're like non-violently.
Well, they want to capture it for money.
Yeah. So they're like, they're like, this is so stupid. I fucking hated this movie. They're like, oh, we gotta put a fucking like shark cage in the water to try to like subdue it. And I'm like, this thing's a goddamn megalodon. There's no fucking shark cage on Earth that's gonna protect you.
It's a different breed of shark, right? Like, it's not just like, oh, it's a shark. It's like, it's a completely different class.
Like, this is like going like, oh, you know, I have this windbreaker. so I'll totally be safe in a fucking like tornado. And it's like, no,
yeah,
this is such a
my
bigger
windbreaker
issue.
will be great on Mount Everest. It's like, no, dude, you need next level stuff for that.
Are you kidding me? But they're like, oh yeah, we got to subdue it. So,
you saying a billionaire wants to like, kind of cut some costs?
That's fair. But then they're like, but everyone else is like, yeah, let's do this. Like even Su Yin is like, yeah, we got to make sure this thing doesn't die.
Billionaires surround themselves with yes men,
and that's a fair point. You know what? Honestly, because that's the thing. Is like in the year this movie came out, this would be a problem. But in the year of our Lord 2024, where Elon is constantly posting dumbass bullshit on,
people are like, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah, this is a good move. I absolutely agree with this. Yeah. So anyway,
surprisingly, a lot of people who
don't agree with
it. Like it seems like that resistance grows a lot more.
Luckily,
but still, there are definitely people.
There's still people who are like
Elon
on his side. Either way, so they have to subdue it. So Jason Statham has to swim in the water, get close to the Megalodon, and shoot a tracking device into its dorsal fin. He does this attached to like a reel, like a long wire, and they press a button to like reel him in. But when they reel him in, it creates like a vibration in the water, which immediately alerts the Megalodon to the fact that there is a Jason Statham in the water being pulled. So it's like he's bait essentially.
Sure.
And so it goes after Jason Statham. And all right, up until now, I'm like, there's so much bullshit I don't like about this movie. There's so much shit I don't believe, but I don't want to be a fucking like, cinema sin motherfucker.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate you trying to, give the movie somewhat of a bit of a doubt.
You have to.
Yeah. Okay.
So Jason Statham gets reeled in, and there's this whole dramatic scene where the Megalodon is chasing after Jason Statham on the end of like a reel, and it's just coming at him faster and faster. And then they pull him in, and he gets launched out of the air. The Megalodon like chomps, misses Jason Statham by like an inch, and then Jason Statham falls into the boat that they're all on. And then the Megalodon's like, well, he's in the boat. Let's swim away.
That is absolutely one thing I did not understand in this movie. I'm like, the Megalodon is huge.
This thing is eaten.
Knock that boat over. Whale. The Megalodon is like, I'm never going to hit this boat. I'm like, dude, the Megladon would fuck that boat up.
You could swallow the boat like a pill.
You could push that boat over.
Are you kidding me?
You just run into it.
Just because Statham
there's a scene that's even worse than this later on.
I hated this scene. And this was luckily the end of my half, pretty much. They're starting to put this shark cage together, and they mentioned it's made of polycarbonate, so it's built to bend and not break. But I'm like, fuck that shit.
Built to bend, not break. Yeah, it can't break, right?
It never could break unless it's under a ton of pressure. Like a fuck off giant Megalodon. Yeah. Either way. But yeah, I hated that. I was like, I can suspend my disbelief. There's a lot I can suspend.
Yeah.
For a good movie. This movie has weared on my last nerve, and there's no goddamn way a Megalodon is going to go like, well, this tiny bald human is in a tiny fucking ship.
I'm not going to try to hit it.
I'm not going to try to knock the ship over or just take a chomp out of it. I'm just going to like, I guess he's safe. I guess I gotta swim away.
I guess I gotta get out of here. I guess I gotta go find some whales.
Even in fucking Godzilla's like, I'm gonna fucking turn this fucking ship over.
Yeah, I'll hit that thing.
It just we know that it downed a bunch of fucking like shark poachers.
Yeah,
like, this
it knows how to
thing
hit
doesn't give
boats.
a shit.
Yeah,
whatever. Who cares? Who gives a shit?
Completely unrelated, but Masi Oka, who played Toshi, apparently founded like a video game production company that developed Mobius Digital, who made Outer fucking Wilds, which I had no fucking clue that he's an exec, like a producer on that. Like that's fucking
good
crazy.
For him.
Yeah, I mean,
he is a hero.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay.
Even as someone who hasn't played that game, I know that game rocks. Yeah.
So anyway, it sounds like Jason Statham says, I don't like this when I started. And I'm like, yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, he doesn't like anything.
But they send in Su Yin, and she's done hundreds of shark dives. She's like so confident she's going to get this Megalodon. She's like, I'm going to fucking get it. I know the anatomy of sharks. It's going to be easy. I'm going to know exactly where to kill it. And he's like, I like this. So she goes down there. And this big plexiglass tube, which I didn't know was fucking crazy nice. And I'm just like, this seems like a bad idea. What was wrong with like, I don't know, metal shark things that they normally use?
I know. This is why I'm so pissed.
It feels very much like Jurassic World like style where it's just like we have the future stuff and it just looks cool.
Yeah.
And don't worry. This is great. It's perfect.
This is built to last.
This is
but even in Jurassic World, they knew what they were up against, Here
Sure.
they built this thing to last against normal sharks.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, yeah, they see like a bunch of normal sharks. They put a bunch of chum in the water. And then the Meg shows up, scares all the other sharks away. And the shark comes below and hits the cage. And she tries to shoot it in the eye, but really can't. The shark.
Who tries to shoot in the eye? Suyin?
Suyin, yeah. She's in the tank thing.
Yeah.
And then the shark decides to bite the cage. And then they're like, don't worry, the cage won't break. And then she's like, but it's so big, it's trying to swallow the cage. It's just going to eat her completely whole.
Fucking, yeah, exactly.
And Jackson's like, it won't break. And she's like, that's okay. It doesn't matter because she's trying to eat me. And they're like, oh, fuck. And Jason Statham jumps in the water to save her.
How? How is he going to save her?
I don't fucking know. And then, but it's great because Rainn Wilson looks at it and goes, huh, cool, when he jumps in. And I'm like, why the fuck? So from what I gathered from that, I felt like he never helped this whole movie.
The only thing Rainn Wilson ever did.
No, not Rainn Wilson. Jason Statham.
Oh, I see.
It made it sound like he's like cool. Like he's finally going.
He's finally doing something
like,
cool.
This guy's a badass.
He's been a badass up until now.
This entire movie to come in and finally do something, and this is his moment. That's what it sounded like.
Not
no?
true.
Okay.
Not true at all.
I mean, I know Rainn Wilson didn't do anything.
Yeah, no.
So the shark moves. They get a the cable. They're like the cage is attached to a cable, and the shark starts dragging it away, and knocks Jax into the water, and the shark starts going after Jax.
Mm-hmm.
And Jax luckily gets a ladder and starts climbing up and makes it just in time. And the shark gets right up to her and is about to bite her, and then it's just like, no, I'm good. I'm like,
why?
You literally are going full speed at this person. And she crawls up a ladder and the shark stops in front of the boat, doesn't hit the boat, doesn't do anything. And it's just, that's the part where I'm like, oh, okay. This movie's not really
operating.
This movie's not moving on like normal logic.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So, let's see.
And like, this is such a, like, again, like you can watch movies and like suspend your disbelief. This is such an absurd concept. Like you've established the rules of what the Meg can and can't do.
Yeah.
It can capsize this boat easily. It
Yeah.
can take a bite out of the boat.
For sure.
It doesn't give a shit.
So Jason Statham gets there and tries to save her, and she starts passing out because what happens is the shark officer was biting the thing, caused a leak, so she's now drowning in the place because her mask broke, so she's now taking in water, and so she passes out. And she's like, no, don't save me. And then she passes out, and he's like, no, I'm going to save you. And he tries to save her. But during this time, the crane, like, falls over and sinks into the water, and they're like, oh, shit, you got to get her out of that bubble, or else she's going to sink to the bottom. He does, of course, just in time.
How does he save her from dropping to the bottom, though?
Well, he just opens up the thing after a bit.
Oh, okay. And then she floats up.
No, he swims her up.
Oh, okay.
He does the whole thing.
He's such a good swimmer.
Yeah, so then the wall sets a trap for the Meg to get caught in. He gets caught in enough. It's kind of like a lasso. Basically lassos him. The Meg then tries to bite, just right up to Jason, tries to bite him, but he can't because he got fucking caught by the lasso. But before that, I didn't mention this. She did actually successfully shoot a poison dart into the Meg, and now it finally got hit by the poison. And the poison, it dies.
Oh yeah, they really filled that fucking thing up with poison.
So it does die from the poison.
It dies?
It goes to the surface, yeah. And she wakes up. And
the Meg is dead?
The Meg's dead, dude.
Wow.
The movie's over. And then so Yin wakes up and is like, oh, you saved me. Oh, he did it. Oh my God. And the doctor's like, chill out, man. You were literally
Chill
dead.
The fuck
Chill
out.
the fuck out. You're dead. And she goes up to Jason Statham like, you saved me again. I can't believe that. And they caught the fucking Meg, and he's like, come out and check this out. And the Meg is like hanging on the boat, like this massive ass shark, huge shark with his teeth out. The wall is there, and he's like, oh, I'll get a picture of me. And DJ's like, cool, I'll take a picture of you.
Meg is gonna take a bite out of it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. They're playing with that, which I think is kind of a fun idea.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh man, he's like, get your head in there, get your head really in there.
No.
And then DJ lowers the thing just a little bit, just to scare him, and he falls in the water and is like, ah, ha, ha, ha. That's so fucking funny. Rainn Wilson talks to Dr. Zhang and is like, hey, it went our way. This is all so good. And he's like, no,
it's all working out.
Not for Toshi. Toshi's dead.
Yeah,
dude.
but there's nothing we can do about that.
And Rainn Wilson's like, whatever.
Yeah.
This sucked. You're such a bummer.
I'm so nervous that Toshi's still alive somehow.
Such a bummer. No, Toshi's dead, dude.
Thank
he never
God.
comes back.
Good.
And
knowing this movie.
And the doctor is like, we do what people always do: discover and then destroy. I'm like, yeah, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, pretty good.
Sure. So the Wall's like hanging out in the water. He's like, oh, this is crazy. I got knocked over. You guys are fucking pranksters. All right, I'm going to swim up. And then a fucking even bigger shark comes out and pops out and bites the other shark and takes the other shark with it and capsizes the entire boat. Bigger Meg. Mike, that was not a big enough Meg. This is a bigger Meg. It's even bigger. It's like double the size.
Oh my God.
Bigger shark. We're on different rules now.
Bigger shark. Bigger shark. Bigger shark.
So it capsizes the boat. Everyone falls out. There's now I mean, the other shark's obviously dead, but DJ reveals he can't swim. They're like, you ever work on the ocean? It's like, well, I worked on this.
Yeah, on the sea lab.
I worked on the sea lab. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So they rescue what seems like basically everyone, but Soo-Yin's dad, dude, he's fucked up.
He's got a bad heart.
He got fucked up. He got hit by some shrapnel or some shit.
Oh man, that's so rough.
I know. So the doctor is like swimming out there next to Jax, and Jax is like, "All right, we're gonna swim back, but the big Megalodon's coming. It's coming
yeah,
again."
Man.
And the doctor's like, "You go on without me." And he starts making some noise because he's the one who sacrifices himself,
right.
Just unlike Jason Statham, what he does.
Yes.
So he's just like, it's gonna be okay, Jax, you're a good person, and then he gets fucking eaten, making a ton of noise, dying. But the thing that's funny is that like he dies and Jax doesn't really swim back. She's just like, and I'm like, swim back.
Is
dude.
Jax okay?
Jax is fine.
Okay, good.
So DJ is mad at Jason Statham. He's like, it killed everyone. It killed the Weller. It killed the Wall. It killed Dr. Weller.
It killed all of our favorite characters.
Toshi.
The Wall.
The Wall. We love him. He's like, all my friends were here, and we shouldn't have fucking left the station. Why did we leave the station?
Right.
And then
I never wanted them to leave the station.
Then DJ makes a note about like, did you have like, Jax, your hair's like weird. And I'm like, I feel like it's always that way the rest of the movie. Like it's always
Wait, it's
wet.
weirder now somehow?
I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird comment. That's all I was wondering if she had longer hair or something like that.
No, she's always had that weird short hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's like they're in lifeboats now, and they're like trying to escape because the thing capsized, right? So they're in lifeboats, and Rainn Wilson calls in some helicopters to shoot down the Meg, and they just use like basic machine guns, and they're like, Jax is like, you got machine guns to shoot this giant thing? And he's like, I don't know, man. I just need to get off our tail.
Mm-hmm.
So they start shooting it. They hit it with a tracking device. They hit it with some rifles. It does actually get off their back. It does kind of like ignore them.
Yeah.
And oh fuck, what's her name? Soo-Yin is talking to her dad. Her dad is bleeding out in the back, and her dad is like, I should have been a better dad. I would
never have known.
I was so hard on you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I haven't. And she's like, I'm sorry I haven't lived up to it. He's like, you're better than I am, daughter. I hope your daughter grows up just like you. And then he dies.
I hope she grows up better.
Huh?
I hope she grows up better.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So she dies. Then they go back, and daughter's there. First time I see her, and she's happy. She's like, "Yay, mommy's back!" And then mom's like, "We gotta fucking serious talk. Grandpa's dead."
Yeah, I was like, "Where's Grandpa?"
Grandpa's dead, dude. Cut to her praying in front of an altar with apples and oranges. And I want to ask you, when you die, what are the things you would want in front of your altar?
Ooh.
2 things. So he likes apples and oranges, I assume. Maybe there's something else
what
to
if,
it.
Yeah, I was gonna say this might be. I mean, this might be some kind of cultural.
Sure.
Yeah. Or maybe just really likes apples and oranges.
I'm gonna go with that one for now.
Sure.
For this thought exercise.
Okay, my 2 favorite things would be, coffee and cigarettes.
Coffee and cigarettes. Nice.
I think that'd be pretty chill. What about you?
I think I would like calzone and probably
It's asking from a lot of people who
Okay,
might
Mr.
not eat meat.
You could have a vegetarian calzone.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, you just don't put meat in it.
Yes, that's true.
What are you talking about? You're just like, it has to have pepperoni in it.
I assumed.
And then, oh god, I don't know what the other thing would be. It'd probably be like a tiki. It'd probably be like a tiki drink. It'd be like a tiki drink.
Ethan was so focused on the calzone. He's like, I got.
I was thinking about calzone. I'm like, fuck, man.
Ethan's just hungry.
It makes you fucking long since I had a calzone.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be it.
Calzone.
What would you put for me?
For you?
Because I'd be dead. I couldn't have any fucking say in this.
Beer.
Okay.
Like beer.
Nice.
And I mean, it's not a food or drink item, but video game.
Wait, what video game? Pick one. Any of them. Pick one.
This is gonna be mean.
Oh no,
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone! I haven't played Hearthstone in years.
Okay.
That's what's so funny about being dead. You have no say in it.
Exactly.
For you, I would put
Oh
the.
no! This is
I
gonna
would
be so embarrassing.
I put the Werner Herzog figurine I got you, and then I would put.
That's not edible.
And then you don't need fucking food. You're dead. And then I'd put the DVD of Over the Garden Wall in there.
Hell yeah! I love that.
All right,
I'm cool with that one.
Yeah,
that's great.
Because that's the thing. What if her dad didn't like apples or oranges?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. What if he's like, I'm deathly allergic to those two things?
Finally, you can eat them in the afterlife.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, so the back at the station, fucking Jason Statham.
Street Fighter would be the real answer, by the way. Not
there you go. There you go. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So then Jason appears. Jason Statham appears. Is like something that change your life forever, but the world doesn't stop to give you a break, huh?
Yeah.
And she's like, "How do you live with it?" And he's like, "I don't. I always just replay it." And she's like, "It's not about the ones you lose. It's about the ones you save. I'm glad you're here, Mr. Jason Statham." He's like, "Meh." So then,
his wife's in a coma, I think, right? That's the other thing. Lori's like is dying.
I guess she's
knocked out.
By the time I see her, she's awake.
Okay, because I feel like the movie's really trying to push Soo-Yin and Jason Statham.
Yeah. Lori's old news.
Yeah, and X. She's just an X.
She's an X.
Yeah.
Whatever. She's just there.
Yeah, she's probably got her whole shit figured out.
Sure.
Yeah.
So.
Got the house.
Ray and Wilson, and the car.
Yeah,
and I got the dog. I got the fucking dog. Ray Wilson's like, I informed the Chinese government about the Meg. They're gonna come and get some destroyers and just fucking take it out because this is too much.
Right.
So I'm gonna close this place down until it's killed, and then somehow Jax's hair is still wet. Ray Wilson's like, I want to say I'm very sorry for your losses. I came to celebrate with you, and now I'm mourning for you. Did he come down here to be like, check out this cool shit? Is that the whole
This was the
reason?
first time he was seeing the Sea Lab.
Okay, got it.
Because he wanted to see what his money was buying.
He gets on a helicopter and pieces the fuck out.
We never see him again?
Well.
Oh, the Meg pops up and eats the helicopter, doesn't it?
So he has some. So what he does instead is he has some of his close-knit circle give him some depth charges, and they're gonna find the Meg and they're gonna drop depth charges on it, which is basically big giant things of dynamite.
God damn it.
Laurie's having a good time playing with Soo-Yin's kid, Mei-Yin, who's very funny. I realized Laurie's played by the same person who played Sonya Blade in the new Mortal Kombat movies, where I recognized her from.
Oh yeah, man, totally.
Movie sucks. So the daughter's here, and she's like, "Oh, my mom likes you too, Jason Statham." And he's like, "This is the worst moment of my life." That was actually a pretty funny line. He's just like, I'm fucking tired of all this drama.
Yeah.
Like, he just wants to go back to drinking in Thailand. So they deploy.
I got 99 problems.
Pretty much. So Ray and Wilson drops death charges on the shark, and they fucking blow it up. And they're like, hell yeah. So they go to the body. He gets
not gonna help.
He gets on a boat. It's dead. It's dead, fuck. It's dead, dude.
Sure,
they go
man.
to the body, and they're like, hey, man, go grab some teeth for my desk. You keep one for yourself. And he's like, okay. So he goes there, and they disappear, and he reappears back. And he's like, hey, man, that thing don't got no teeth. I think we killed a whale. And he's like, oh, no. And then a fucking
giant Meg shows up.
Comes, hits him out of the boat. He falls out of the boat.
Okay, I gotta answer you. I gotta ask a real question. Are you enjoying this movie so far?
It's all right.
We haven't gotten to the pivotal scene with the beach.
So far, I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, right.
We're just kind of treading water.
Yes.
It feels like we're just, like I said, it feels like kind of like a modern Godzilla movie. We're just like, okay, we got to get through the human parts, whatever.
Gotta get through this bullshit.
So
yeah.
So it slams on him, and the Meg starts to chase him. He's on the whale. He's like, oh, fuck. And it looks like it takes him out. He doesn't. He doesn't get eaten. And he's like, oh, I'm fine. It's a fake out. And then the Meg jumps out.
The Meg eats him, yeah.
So it turns out.
So he's not going to show up for the sequel.
Exactly. So it turns out they find out Morris didn't call the Chinese government at all.
Not at all?
Not at all. He didn't say anything. He wanted it for himself. He wanted to keep this as quiet as possible. He wanted to make that money, dude.
Man, dude.
So they're like, fine. Jax, hack that tracker that he was using and figure it out. He's like, okay, so we're going to fucking take this thing out. We got to figure out what's going on. You want to steal an evac ship? Yeah. We're going to use explosives. We're going to get it. So, like, where's the Meg headed right now? And they're like, oh, shit, it's going to Sanya Bay. And this is a place in China.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is, he's like, well, what is that? And you're like,
that's a place in China.
It's a place in China. He's like, it's the most densely populated beach in the world.
No.
And they're like,
it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet over there.
That, yeah. He's like, okay, it's 20 minutes till we can get there. And they're like, Meg's gonna get there before us.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit.
Hope there's food for us.
And he's like, how do we get it away with all the people there? And he's like,
yeah.
well, we gotta ask it for dinner. So they have like a fucking like a sound effect they put in the water. It's like a whales making whale sounds or whatever.
It's like a dinner bell.
So they cut to the beach, and let me tell you, Mike, this is fucking crazy. This beach, I have like, you know those scenes where you're like, look at fucking Florida spring break.
Yeah,
this makes Florida spring break look like pussy shit. There was an unbelievable amount of people.
You want to go?
No, there's too many people there. It's too popular. Like it is packed with inner tubes. There are just people vibing out on the beach. I mean, they're having a great time. It's the summer.
Yeah.
People are getting.
They were looking forward to this.
It is. I cannot describe how packed it is. It is insane.
People
are getting forever. People are getting married on a boat.
No.
People are getting married on a boat. They're having a great time. People are all jumping in the water. You know, even the bride's dog for some reason decides to jump in the water. Named Pippin. He swims out in the water. Just go like this dog wants to kill itself. It's just going out into the open ocean, like just swimming. I'm like, what's your goal here, bro? Like, what are you trying to do?
It put on an outfit that looks like a ham or something.
Yes, it's
trying to look
that.
more like food.
So then suddenly the shark shows up. And he's like, dun, 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 and it goes and fucking eats Pippin, dude. He's fucking dead.
Not Pippin.
So then there's this kind of chubby kid who's with his mom, and he's like, I want to go in the water. And the mom's like, it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
She's just talking about how fucking crowded it is.
Yeah,
it's too
way
dangerous.
Too many people.
And he's like, but I want to go. And she's like, fine, go off in the water. So this is our audience. Like, oh man, we care about this kid now.
I care about that fat kid. I want him to be okay.
So then we get a view of the underwater. All these people are just living it up. And I assume it's from the shark's view.
Sure.
And then we see the shark and the tracker fell off. So they're like, oh shit, we don't know where it is.
Oh
and
no.
The shark then hits an anchor with like a platform with all these ladies on it, and these dudes are like, hey ladies, come over here, and these ladies are like, well, we're hanging out on our own thing.
Hi, Ken.
It's basically that.
Yeah.
And then so the shark like grabs the anchor because it's just swimming underneath everyone. It's not attacking anyone. It's just swimming underneath, and it hits the anchor.
Right.
And then it starts dragging this platform full of people with it, and they all start falling off and freaking out. And then it accidentally grabs the dudes also, and they're basically slammed together. Someone in English is randomly there going, shark! And everyone's like, takes a second to like translate in their head and like, ah!
All right, that's pretty clever.
Which is pretty funny.
I like that a lot.
And then everyone tries to run away and escape, and they all try to like either like get on top of the platforms or try to get to shore. Even our favorite little chubby kid.
My chubby kid.
There's even like people in these like big round inflatable balloons.
Oh,
like
yeah.
big
I've always wanted to be in those.
It seems really fun, right?
Yeah, but not if a shark is attacking.
Well, and then the fucking shark just starts eating people, man. Just starts going ham on everyone, taking people on the platform out. He finds the person on the little rolling balloon, and it grabs him and pops him and eats him.
Oh shit!
It's amazing. It's great. And then our favorite kid is about to die.
My favorite kid.
But then the whale.
Jason Statham shows
the whale call
He's
happens.
like, no, you're not gonna die today.
You're not gonna eat that. You're gonna die, chubby kid.
Yeah.
He sees the shark.
I was a chubby
He's
kid
about ready to
growing
die.
up.
And the kid just has a popsicle and just starts eating it. And he's like, wow, that's crazy. Like, he doesn't really understand the
ramifications.
The gravity of the situation. So Jonas and Suyin are in the Naboo submarines, as we'll call them. And they bait the shark in. They shoot some torpedoes. Doesn't seem like it works. Seems like it's A-okay.
Yeah.
So then Jason Statham lines up for another shot. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem to work because at this point, the media has found out about this Meg, and there's a bunch of helicopters flying around. And one of the helicopters is so distracted by the shark, it crashes into another, and then it lands on the boat everyone else is in, not Jason Statham and Suyin. Everyone else gets fucking knocked into the water, so Suyin has to go save her daughter because her daughter's on the boat.
I want the daughter to be safe. I don't care about that chubby kid.
Exactly.
I want the daughter to be safe.
The daughter, I mean, you mean the chubby kid who has like literally no lines of dogs?
Yes.
Like, I want to go in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to Suyin, who's like a charismatic kid. So Suyin, not Suyin, sorry, her daughter.
I don't remember her name.
Suyin is there, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta save everyone." And he's like, "I'll take them away from the boat." So yeah, and then they see that the Meg does not care. He's like wants to go to the boat.
The Meg has very few interests.
So during this moment, Meg was chasing Jason Statham. He got he went through basically, you know that scene? No, you weren't there because you only watched half of it. There's a scene in Avatar: The Way of Water where one of the little Avatar Na'vi kids are running through the ocean and trying to escape a big shark.
Okay.
It feels like that scene. But it's with a submarine.
Sure.
And he knocks against the wall. And he gets
it reminds me a lot of a scene in Avatar: The Way of Water where, you didn't see that part of the movie, where they were going through the ship underwater. Probably a lot like that.
It was probably all like that.
Yeah.
So he gets a part of the metal from, he knocks something in, and part of metal gets stuck in his ship. It's important because he then sits there and sees the shark going to attack him. He's like, it's not about the people you lose. It's about the people you save. And he drives really fast and does like a cool flip and goes under the shark and cuts like its entire belly up. Like cuts like a one long clean thing.
Can I guess that those people somehow miraculously are not dead and living alive in the belly? And when he cuts up in the belly,
no, they didn't get eaten at all.
Oh,
he was just going towards them, and Jason Statham cut him off.
Wait, nobody got eaten by the Meg?
Oh, you mean all the people? Oh, the people on the shoreline?
Yeah.
Oh no, those motherfuckers are dead. All those motherfuckers.
I thought he cut open the Meg, and then out came all the people.
No,
like, thank you.
No, they got chewed, bro.
Yeah,
they got chewed. They're not alive.
Up. Yeah.
So yeah, he uses this weird metal thing to cut a huge hole across the whole shark. But then the shark is like pissed. He fucking grabs the little submarine and starts fucking shaking around, breaking the glass.
Right.
And Jason Statham somehow gets out of the submarine, and the submarine is full of water, and he puts on a little face mask and is chomping on the submarine. He gets a little knife and he goes to the front of the Meg, grabs on the side of the Meg, latches himself on there, gets a harpoon, and fucking stabs it in the eye. Damn. And then the Meg is like, I'm gonna try to get you. It breaches the water, and there's a cool scene where Jason Statham's riding the Meg, and he just shoves the harpoon even deeper into the Meg.
This is some like Ahab shit.
It's pretty dope, honestly. And then the shark falls defeated because it's got a fucking huge gaping wound in its stomach.
Yeah, it's
eyes
cut in
fucked
half.
up. And then a bunch of other little sharks come and start eating it. One almost tries to get Jason Statham, but then Su Yin comes in her little boat and knocks this little tiny hammerhead shark away.
That's
this little
awesome.
Hammerhead shark's like, I'm gonna eat you. And it's such a funny scene.
Yeah,
it's just no dialogue, just think, and then this little shark's like,
all right. You've made an excellent
You made a point.
Yeah.
So then they hang out on the wedding boat, and the lady's upset. It's like, you killed Pippin. Pippin's dead. And then Pippin comes swimming up.
Pippin's okay.
The little dog is fine. It survived. It's
what a
fine.
relief.
And
worth all of the deaths that occurred
Jason
today.
Statham's like, Su-Yin, I need a vacation. And then, hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You ruined my mind.
Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey. And that's it. That's the end of the movie.
That's the end of the movie?
The movie is just like, we're done.
I don't like that.
They killed it.
Wow.
Yeah, this movie's whatever.
You know, when you cut a Meg in half, you know what you get?
A seg?
Meh. And that's what this movie is.
Yeah.
It's meh.
It's pretty meh. It could have been a lot shorter. It probably would have been a better movie.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of stuff. It's just like, so we're going to have one Meg, and then the Meg's going to be attacked by another one. Because it's like, maybe it's because if I was an audience member and didn't know how long was left in the movie, because it's about an hour 20 when the other Meg appears.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, the movie's going to end.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of a fun, like, ooh, no, just kidding. You got another 40 minutes left in this movie.
Well,
it'd be kind of fun. But like, I looked at it, I'm like, we're not fucking done. I don't feel any sense of relief.
If this movie was like Jaws, where it's like, you gotta, don't show the Meg too often because that takes away, it's like you want to keep the intrigue and the suspense. We are left with some of the dullest characters I've ever goddamn seen in my entire life. So it's like, I don't know.
All these characters are big throwaway characters. Like, none of them are I like Su-Yin's daughter.
I think Su-Yin's daughter is the only cool character in the whole movie.
Yeah, that's kind of DJ is kind of funny. He's all right.
I don't know.
He's got some good jokes.
Yeah.
He can't swim. That's kind of funny.
Sure, man.
He works on a sea lab.
Yeah, whatever.
It's pretty mid though. Like, this is a pretty mid-ass movie.
I did not enjoy this film at all. I wouldn't recommend it.
No, I think I would recommend it if you're just like want to turn your brain off, just want to see some
if
big
you want to
shark.
put something on
If
to
you're
fall
like
asleep, I'm
sure.
all for
if
this
you want
film.
to, if you're like I want to see Shark Week, but it's not Shark Week right now.
It's Meg Week.
It's Meg Week.
Yeah.
I want to see some big sharks do stuff. You could watch that, and this is instead. It's totally fine. I don't think it's like super bad. It's just pretty mid, you know?
I will forget I saw this movie.
Yeah, there are some good moments. I will forget all the characters for sure. I guarantee I'll forget Rainn Wilson was in this movie.
Yeah. I think he forgot he was in this movie.
He probably did.
Yeah. Were you guys in this movie? Email us at email@podcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram. We're on Threads. We're on Twitter. We also have a Discord. Check us out there. And if you want to listen to our previous summer screaming episodes, you can find them on any podcatching app. And while you're there, please leave a 5-star rating and a review. We will read on the show no matter what it says, even if you are convincing us to go into the middle of the ocean and do some kind of sea lab shit and then discover the Meg.
Yeah.
Well, Ethan, there is a sequel to this movie, The Meg 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I must ask you, would you rather watch The Meg 2 or would you rather watch the Resident Evil movie that has the...
Oh, God.
I know.
Oh, my God. You picked like the hardest choice in the world. I did not expect that to come up. I thought you were going to be like, oh, you want to see Jaws instead.
No, I mean, that's obvious. That's the thing is, do you want to see trash or trash? But it's like maybe one might be a little bit more interesting because one has an actor in it that we clearly know is good. And the other one, I mean, might be a little bit more
I think
fun.
for me, I would probably want to see the Resident Evil movie because it's been long enough since I've seen those movies.
Yeah, I've sort of forgotten
how bad they were. So if I get the badness again, it won't be as like samey. Because the thing was when we did that for Watch Till You Can't, we watched them all back to back to back, so it all felt very samey. So if I watched the Meg 2 now, I would be pissed because it'd probably be pretty similar, right?
Yeah, that's
But if I saw Resident Evil, I'd be like, all right, sure, whatever. This is bad, but yeah.
Do you know if it's the movie that we would have watched if we had like continued on, or is it like?
I think it is.
Is it really?
I think it might have been the next movie. To be fair,
well,
because I remember being like, "It's kind of interesting," but then we're like, "No, it's so bad." Like every time there's something new in that franchise, remember it was kind of boring.
I'm very glad that we didn't see the rest.
Yeah, apparently, this movie was based off of a novel.
A book.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then it tried to Disney was going to produce it, but then they didn't want it to be like bloody and shit. Went to development hell, so it went over to Warner Brothers, who eventually made it. Greenlit it in 2013, and then took fucking forever to make. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't.
It was a huge hit in the box office, man.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's why.
What did you think of special effects?
I actually thought they were okay.
They were pretty good, right?
They were all right. I mean, the Meg effects were that great, but the underwater scenes were pretty great.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah. I don't know. Watching this movie, I'm just like, I want to see it. I just want to see a Sea Lab movie.
You still see a Sea Lab?
Yeah,
movie?
I don't
give
a
like
shit
thinking
about
early 2020, and you're like,
yeah. What a time to be alive, you know?
Sea Lab wasn't bad, you know.
Sea Lab wasn't that bad of a show. I mean, I'm sure it hasn't aged that well, but
you watched it in 2020.
Yeah, but I mean, even at 2020, it probably was like, I don't think that aged very well.
4 years ago?
No, when I watched it in it didn't release in 2020.
No, I know, but you're saying, but in 2020, you didn't have a read on if it aged well or not.
I feel like even at 2020, I was like, this didn't age well. But it had a level of nostalgia to it because I remember staying up late and going like, ooh, cartoons are saying saying dirty words, you know? So, yeah.
Like South Park.
Like South Park, yeah.
They say fuck.
They couldn't say fuck. Oh. They had to be bleeped then.
Oh yeah,
but,
Kenny died or whatever.
Yeah, Kenny died. Yeah, but yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to see Meg 2, but I kind of want to see the new Resident Evil movie now.
No, are we fucking poisoned, bro?
I think we are. I think we're poisoned.
I mean,
but it's not going to be.
She was a good actor. She's one of the better parts of this movie.
She was great in this movie.
So I'm like, is Ada Wong? Ada Wong's a good character, right? She's fun.
I will say though, because I saw her like, I think, I mean, obviously, I mean, this is obvious. Like, if you were to ask Jason Statham, like, hey, you're going to be in this movie that's all like a Chinese cast, and you have to like learn Chinese in order to, you have to like learn the language in order to like properly like play the character, he would do terribly, right?
Yeah.
She was a little like, I think
she knew English before then though, right? Like she was in
Resident
Evil.
She was good,
yeah.
But she was great when she was like speaking like her own language.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like, because there was a moment when it was like her and her daughter.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
her and her dad, same thing. She spoke Chinese.
I was like, I don't think the language is Chinese.
Mandarin, right? Listen, I don't know.
I don't know anything. I don't know
different dialects. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But when she was speaking her own language,
yes,
with her and the daughter, I was like, this is the best part of the entire film.
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing. She's given it her all. I want to see more from this actor. I don't want to see any more of Jason Statham.
Well,
I'm kind of shocked that they didn't have like a kissing scene or anything in the movie.
No,
that's genuinely shocking.
It is kind of crazy how they really did not really hook them up, but
maybe that's in Meg 2.
Wait for Meg 2.
Yeah,
Meg 2, more Smooch 2.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, maybe we'll watch it. Honestly, happy that we didn't bring up Meg from Family Guy the entire time.
Oh, Peter.
Good night, everybody. Holy crap, Lois! It's a Megladon.
This is like that one time I watched Fast and the Furious.